The Jedi Temple burned in Anakin's mind before a single torch was lit. He stood alone in his quarters on Coruscant. The city hummed outside the window. Padmé slept in their apartment across the sky lane, her hand resting on the swell of their unborn children. Anakin's fist shook. Mace Windu was on his way to arrest the Chancellor. The choice was simple. Save Palpatine. Save Padmé. Burn the rest. Then the air split open. A blue-white wound tore through the room. The Force screamed, not in warning, but in grief. Anakin reached for his lightsaber, but his hand froze. Something on the other side was calling him by name. Not Sidious. Not Obi-Wan. Something older. Something desperate. Skywalker, it whispered. Look, before you choose. Look, the light pulled him in. He fell through stars. Through decades. Through smoke and ash and the screams of children he had not yet murdered. Visions struck him like blaster bolts. A masked figure breathing through a black helmet. Himself, broken on a steel table. A green-eyed boy on a desert farm, staring at twin sons. A throne room of red guards. A daughter he had never met, cradling a dying senator. And then, silence. Anakin stood on a cliff above a black ocean. The sky burned red. A young man knelt before him, hooded, weeping. The hood fell back. The face was Padmé's eyes. Han Solo's mouse. A grandson Anakin would never know. A red blade slid through the boy's chest. Anakin screamed, and the vision pulled him deeper, toward a truth even Sidious feared. The vision shifted. Anakin stood on a green island in the middle of a roaring sea. Stone huts, salt wind, strange, wide-eyed creatures watching from the cliffs. The Force here was old, older than the Jedi, older than the Sith, and in the center of it all stood a man. Gray beard, tired eyes, a brown robe heavy with rain. He looked like Obi-Wan. He moved like Anakin, but the face was Padmé's. Luke, Anakin whispered. His son could not hear him. The vision pulled back, and Anakin saw the truth. Luke had built a new Jedi Order. A school. Children with lightsabers. Hope, blooming again after decades of darkness. Anakin's heart lifted until the fire began. A temple burned in the night. Young Padawan screamed, and standing in the smoke was Luke himself, green blade raised over a sleeping boy. A nephew, his sister's son. The boy's eyes opened. Fear, betrayal, then rage. No, Anakin breathe. Not him too. The boy, Ben, rose from the ashes a monster. The temple fell. The students died. And Luke ran. He threw his lightsaber into the sea. He cut himself off from the Force. He hit on a rock at the edge of the galaxy and waited to die. The Jedi Order, Anakin's order, Yoda's order, the light he was prophesied to restore, ended not with a war, but with one old man's shame. Anakin fell to his knees in the vision. This is what I leave him. The Force answered. It showed him the boy in the smoke. It showed him the name. Snoke was listening, and Snoke was not alone. The island faded. Anakin stood now in a hollow place. A great chasm. A planet hollowed out and turned into a weapon, vast enough to drink the light of stars. Red sky, black snow. The ground trembled as something deep below began to die. A narrow bridge stretched across the abyss. Two figures stood upon it. One was old, gray, worn by smuggling runs and broken promises. Anakin did not know the man, but the Force whispered the name like a wound. Han Solo, your daughter's husband, the father of your blood. The other figure was young, tall, hooded in black. A red, crackling blade hissed in his fist, a weapon that bled fire from its crossguard. Ben Solo, Anakin's grandson. Ben, Han said softly, stepping forward. Come home. We miss you. The boy's mask was already off. His face was Padmé's. His eyes were Anakin's, and they were drowning. I'm being torn apart, Ben whispered. I want to be free of this pain. Will you help me? Han reached for him. Yes, anything. For one heartbeat, the dark side flickered. The boy lowered his blade. The light reached for him. Then the red sun above them dimmed, and Ben drove the lightsaber through his father's chest. Han's hand brushed his son's cheek, forgiving even then, before falling into the endless dark below. Anakin's scream tore the vision apart. This was his legacy. This was the chain he was about to start. The boy on the bridge was killing his own father because somewhere in the past, Anakin Skywalker was about to kill the Jedi. And then a second voice slithered into the vision. A voice Anakin knew. I have been every voice you have ever heard inside your head. The bridge crumbled into the dark. Anakin spun in the void, weightless, blind. The Force pressed against him like a hand around his throat. Then a new vision opened, deeper, colder, older. He stood in a ruined cathedral of stone and lightning. Black spires rose into a green sky. Rotting machines hummed in the dark. Tanks of fluid lined the walls, each one holding a half-formed body. Faces. His face. Twisted clones of the Emperor, and something worse. A throne built from bone and cable. And on that throne sat a corpse that would not die. Palpatine, older than any man should be. Eyes burned white. Skin cracked like dry stone. Tubes feeding rot into his veins. He should have been dead 1,000 times over. The Death Star should have ended him. The Empire should have buried him. But here he sat, still breathing, still plotting, still hungry. My boy, the voice rasped. My good boy. Anakin staggered back. You survived? The Emperor smiled. And then he spoke the words that broke Anakin's mind in half. I've been every voice you have ever heard inside your head. Every dream of Padmé dying. Every whisper that the Jedi were lying. Every nudge toward the dark. The fear. The anger. The hate. None of it had been Anakin's. It had all been Sidious. The Chosen One realized the truth at last. Killing Mace Windu would not save Padmé. Burning the temple would not stop the visions. Even the Empire's fall would not end this monster. Sidious would crawl back from death itself, generation after generation, until a Skywalker finally cut the root. Anakin's tears turned to fire. The Force trembled. And somewhere in the past, Jedi stopped running. The throne room dissolved. Anakin was hurled backward through the tear in the Force, through fire, through screams, through the small voice of a slave boy on Tatooine who once dreamed of saving everyone he loved. He hit the floor of his Coruscant quarters hard. The city hummed outside. The night was the same. Padmé still slept across the skylane. But Anakin was not the same man. He stayed on his knees. His chest heaved. His mechanical hand shook against the cold floor. The lightsaber at his belt suddenly felt heavier than a star. He did the math. If he saved Palpatine tonight, Mace Windu would die. The Jedi would burn. Order 66 would scream across the galaxy. He would march on the temple and cut down the younglings with this very blade. Padmé would still die. Heartbroken, not safe. Their son would grow up a stranger. Their daughter would watch her home planet vanish in white fire. His grandson would murder his own father on a bridge of black metal. And after all of it, Sidious would still crawl back, still whisper, still win. One life, one desperate, selfish dream of saving Padmé, traded for billions. No, Anakin Skywalker. No more. He thought of Padmé's hand on her belly. 2 heartbeats. A son. A daughter. The future the Emperor wanted to poison before it was even born. His ambition cracked. Then it shattered. The Chosen One stood up. He did not run to Padmé. He did not run to the temple. He turned toward the great spires of the Senate district, toward the office where an old man waited with a smile and a lie. A blue blade ignited in the dark. Tonight, Sidious would meet a different Skywalker. The speeder cut through Coruscant skyline like a falling star. Anakin gripped the controls, jaw tight, eyes burning. Padmé's warning still echoed in his ears, but louder than that was the truth. Palpatine was the Sith Lord, and tonight the lie would die. Mace Windu waited at the Senate landing pad, 3 Jedi Masters at his side. He saw Anakin approach, and for the first time he did not turn him away. You were right, Master, Anakin said quietly. He's the one. Let me come with you. Windu studied him, then nodded once. Then we end this together. They moved as one, boots pounding marble, robes whipping behind them. Red guards fell before they could raise their pikes. The doors to the Chancellor's office burst open. Palpatine rose from his chair, calm, smiling. Master Windu, I take it General Kenobi is dead. In the name of the Galactic Senate of the Republic, Windu growled, "You're under arrest, Chancellor." Palpatine's grin twisted. "Are you threatening me, Master Jedi?" Then came the moment that rewrote history. A red blade leapt from his sleeve. Windu's purple ignited, and beside him, Anakin's blue snapped to life. 2 Jedi, 1 Sith. No Hosetashin. The fight exploded across the chamber. Glass shattered. Lightning cracked the walls. Palpatine was fast, faster than any Jedi alive. But he was no longer fighting one master. He was fighting both halves of the Chosen One's destiny. Then in one shared strike, the Sith Lord fell to his knees, bleeding, snarling, exposed. The galaxy held its breath, because the war was not over. It had only just begun. The Senate chamber was silent. Palpatine's body lay still on the marble floor, his yellow eyes finally closed. Mace Windu lowered his blade. The Sith Lord was dead. The shadow that had ruled the galaxy for over a decade had been ended in a single shared strike. But Anakin was already running. He felt it through the Force as sudden cold. A pull. A scream in the back of his mind that no victory could silence. Padmé. He stole a speeder and tore across Coruscant sky lanes, ignoring sirens, ignoring the cheers rising in the streets below. The galaxy was celebrating. The Chosen One was breaking apart. He burst into Padmé's apartment. 3PO met him at the door, panicked. Padmé was on the floor, one hand on her belly, her breathing shallow. "Ani," she whispered. "The babies, they're coming." He carried her himself to a private medical center on the lower levels, away from the eyes of the Senate. Obi-Wan met them there, robes still scorched from Utapau. The medical droids worked fast. Anakin held her hand. He squeezed it like he could pour his life into hers. "Stay with me," he begged. "I killed him, Padmé. I killed him for you. You have to stay." She smiled weakly. "Promise me, you'll teach them. Not to be like him. Not to be like you were becoming. A boy, then a girl." 2 cries echoed in the cold white room. But Padmé's grip slowly loosened. The droids worked. Bacta, stims, every machine in the Republic. None of it mattered. There was no medical reason. No injury. No poison. She was simply slipping away, as if the Force itself had already written this page and refused to let it be erased. "Luke," she breathed. "Leia," and then she was gone. Anakin did not scream. He did not rage. He simply stood there, a child in each arm, staring at the woman he had broken every rule to save. Obi-Wan placed a quiet hand on his shoulder. There were no words. Outside, the holonews blared the headline of a generation. Chancellor Palpatine revealed as Sith Lord. Republic saved by Jedi Order. Inside, the Chosen One was learning that prophecies do not lie. They only change shape. 3 days later, Padmé was returned to Naboo. The funeral procession was endless. Senators wept. Queens bowed. The galaxy mourned a woman who had given everything to keep it standing. Anakin walked behind her casket, expressionless, but Obi-Wan saw the truth in his eyes. A door had closed in there, and something else had opened. That night, in the Jedi Temple, Anakin stood before the council. They expected anger. They expected demands. Instead, he spoke quietly. "I want to keep my children with me." Mace Windu's jaw tightened. "Skywalker, that is not the Jedi way." "The Jedi way killed her," Anakin said. Not loud, not cruel, just cold. "The Sith way would have killed the galaxy. So I'll find a third way. With or without this council." Yoda closed his eyes. He had felt this moment coming. Not the fall of a hero into darkness, but the birth of something the Jedi had no name for. Obi-Wan stepped forward, voice gentle. "Then I will stand with you, my brother." We raised them together. Anakin nodded once. It was the only thanks he could give. Far across the galaxy, separatist worlds were laying down arms. Grievous was dead. Dooku was dead. Sidious was dead. The Clone Wars were finally ending. A new era was being born. But on Coruscant, beneath the celebrations, something darker stirred. Order 66 had never been triggered. The clones did not turn. Yet a single contingency chip, buried deep in a forgotten command vault, still pulsed with one final instruction. A failsafe written in Sidious's own hand, set to activate on the day of his death. And somewhere in the outer rim, A hooded figure received a transmission. One word lit up the screen. Begin. The Sith Lord was dead, but the Sith plan was not. Anakin Skywalker vanished before the Empire could close its iron grip around the galaxy. He took Luke and Leia into the shadows, far beyond the known hyperlanes, to a world buried in storms and stone. There, no Senate record reached them. No imperial probe drifti de Uberhuth. Only silence, dust, and the Force remained. The years hardened him. He no longer fought for banners or titles. He fought for time. Every sunrise became training. Luke learned speed, instinct, and a wild trust of the living Force. Leia learned patience, control, and how to see danger before it moved. Anakin taught them both the way he wished he had been taught. No lies, no counsels, no chains. But he also gave them warnings. He spoke of power that promised peace. He spoke of fear that dressed itself as love. And in quiet moments, when the night wind screamed across the rocks, he spoke the name he hated most, Sidious. The twins grew strong, but the galaxy grew darker. Traitors arrived in hidden ports with stories that froze even Anakin's blood. Imperial officers were hearing commands from empty chambers. Dead observatories were lighting up in the unknown regions. On forgotten Sith worlds, cultists were gathering around voices that came from nowhere and everywhere at once. Leia felt the dread first. It moved through the Force like a cold blade. Luke felt it next, a presence watching from beyond stars. Anakin knew that whisper. It was not memory. It was not fear. It was him. The Emperor was calling to the galaxy again. That night, Anakin led the twins into an ancient cave beneath the cliffs, where he had hidden weapons, maps, and one final secret from the Clone Wars. Then the ground began to shake, and from the darkness beyond the storm, engines roared.